Hello, and welcome back to another TheJavaJive video. Today, I'm going to be discussing the benefits of web components and adding them to your website. So I was interested in learning a little bit more about web components and the question of why even bother using them in order to find out if I wanted to add any to my website in the future. So first, we need to define what a web component is. So web component is a set of web platform APIs that give you the opportunity to create new HTML tags or use already made tags in your code. So they work on most browsers and allow developers to extend these new tags that have the CSS and JavaScript already connected with them. Like the div or the paragraph tag in HTML, when you use a web component on your page, you can call that same tag over and over again and use it the same way across your entire website. So there are 4 different kinds of web components. This includes the custom elements, which is a new type of DOM or document object modeling element. And when you add this HTML to your page, you also add the div or the image tag to it, and this changes the structure of the DOM tree and also the nodes that make up that HTML page. So another specification is a shadow DOM, which defines how to edit the styling and the markup of the web component. So this is also, I'll show an example of this later, but this is also when you want to add something directly into your page and it uses other styling. So the ES module defines how to effectively reuse JavaScript files for web components. And finally, the HTML template declares how you can create the markup as soon as the page loads, but then use that later on whenever you need it. So when creating a web page, it's super easy to have the pre-existing libraries that have web components in them and then use those to add to your page. So this helps reduce time spent on designing the layout and the styling if everything's already built in when you add that tag. You can also use this for styling accessibility. So there is a whole bunch of different web components that you can add. And if all of these are web accessible, then this is a great way to use and take all those different things such as color contrast for, visual impairment or keyboard inputs if you have a one-handed user. So there are 5 different categories of accessibility, which is visual, auditory, motor, cognitive, or temporary disabled users or people using it with one hand. So if we think about how we use the web, we need to make sure that everything follows the web content accessibility guidelines when creating these web components. So if you're using already pre-existing components, these should already be in place. So an example of a web component would be on this eagames.com page. So I looked in the console and I was looking at all the different areas and different elements on the page. And I found this one called EA-section, which is not a normal HTML tag. And so this is a web component that they added to their page, and they even have a shadow root. So this is just all the styling for that one tag that's already that they built into this. So you can look and you can see all the different edits that they've made to this. So that way, every time they call EA-section, this same layout will appear. Okay, that was my video for today. Please subscribe, and I hope to see you back next week. Thanks.